So I'm coming back out that farmyard now, and we're going back up onto the laneway, and I'm going to go over to what was Kinsella's old farm. This is where the Kerwins would have worked in their time. And this is where your nearest neighbours were. So we're back up onto the lane. I pan to the right, and I pan to this way, and we'll go over along another bit. But there's those old lovely mossy walls again there now. That old house back there, and there's still the original open hard fire where you'd 5 people would stand underneath the chimney breast, and a lovely big old fire with a crane and a big metal skillet, kettle, big kettles, and really all back in the, as I said, never changed in that many years. No. But it's a lovely morning for to be doing this. You actually hear a jet in the background there on the mic. But yeah, laneway led from Bowlacreen out onto the Hollyfort Road. It was a type of a shortcut, but well, for families, and I suppose lads back in the day hunting and that would have known it so well, and they would have just come across here, and they may have even got a mug of tea or a mug of buttermilk on their way. I know my own father would have hunted all this area with ferrets and dogs over the years. And back then, when this is back to the war years, when there was eat or very little to eat, and you got whatever you could, and if you happened to get a spare one, you'd sell it. And then these an awful lot of rabbits from Gorey and the surrounds ended up on the market in London, believe it or not. Yeah, so yep. There's the old gate hanger, big flagstone that the gate would have been hung on. Oh, there's snow all around us. We actually had a few flakes this morning there. It's actually very cold on the hands, but agriculture, they want it to be a thing of the past, but I don't know whether they think they're going to get the food out. They don't look after the farmers and keep things going. So getting very near the farmyard over here now. Plenty of ice there, as you can see. Icing up now. Nice field there, look at it. Nice pasture. I can just picture now the granduncles getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and walking up the road. Well, they didn't live that far, they only lived down the road, but coming up here now, maybe to milk a few cattle or something, or feed cattle. You know, there was a big family of those on a few acres, so there was going to be nothing in it for any of them other than maybe the last youngest lad or the eldest one, whichever way it went. In our case, it was the youngest son got what was left of the place, and the rest of them all had to make their own way. So Australia must have looked attractive back in the days. Being all horses, everything was done by horse. Sowing, ploughing, reaping, threshing. And there was the old house that would have supported them all. Yeah. Nature has taken it back. Try and go in and have a quick look around. I have no lights here with me. Well, actually I do have a light in the bag, but There's your Aga in where the chimney breast would have been. And the old radio, I'd say the wireless as it was called, I'd say many a Wexford match was listening on that. And there's the obligatory paw that went under the bed. Upstairs is gone, so I'm not even going to try and get up there. No, that's just... So this is where all my granduncles would have worked in their time. And I did hear a story that beside the fire breast there was supposed to be a priest hide. I just can't see that there, and it's far too dark. But it would have been, well, probably not priest hide, but it would have been for somebody on the run who was looking for a safe house, and they would have got in here. And if someone was seen, you know what I mean, that laneway is a long way, you do well to surround this without being seen, and they would have hid up beside that chimney breast. I do know my own Uncle Peter Dorn, who was my granny's brother. He was on the run during the Civil War. He had been jailed in Waterford, and the story is that he would have hid out in the chimney breast if there was going to be a raid. And I know he walked up in the fields supposedly dressed as a woman. Well, I'd say not dressed as a woman, but with women's clothing on him. So this, it was tough back then, lads. You think it's tough now? The difference between then and now is there was no money back then, and it was worth an awful lot. And the difference now is there's plenty of money, but it's worth nothing. So just going back out, as you can see, it's good that it's frosty on the ground there. I can walk across that muddy track. I'll give you one last pan of the old farmyard. And that was the house. Yeah. Okay, lads. Thank you. Talk to you again. Bye bye.